Social responsibility is an ethical theory in which individuals are accountable for fulfilling their civic duty, and the actions of an individual must benefit the whole of society. To tell us more is Islamic Careline's Counsellor Aziza Angamia, who is on the line. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran for joining me, Aziza.
How are you doing today, sister?
Alhamdulillah, all good in yourself?
Alhamdulillah, shukr.
All right, so please start by telling us, what does it mean to be socially responsible and ethical?
Okay, social responsibility can be in two ways, individually or as a corporate. So it's, when you say accountable for fulfilling a civic duty to benefit your community or your society. And social responsibility is to protect the interests of your community or the society that you have chosen to serve.
And when do social responsibility and ethics apply?
When there's a need in a community, when it's on an individual basis, it creates a sense of community and togetherness. So when you identify, if you can identify a need in the community, to see what the community needs and how you contribute and how you can, get other people to contribute as well. And then even if it's in an underprivileged community where you can, empower people and maybe even provide resources. So there's different ways in which, you can fulfill the social responsibility.
What are the benefits of social responsibility?
It just brings about that awareness, that perception, and also that sense of fulfillment. And also when, to empower society or community to fend for themselves, to bring about the togetherness and just to bring about that independence and that stability.
Okay. What is the importance of social responsibility to the community and the environment?
First, to get involved in a community, you need to first identify the needs of the community. And then, not to decide as an individual or a group, what the community needs. So you have to get the community involved to identify what are their needs, what are their expectations, and how you can work together. It's very important to work together with the community that you are based in, and not to just make decisions on your own. So with the people that are going to be assisting, and the people from the community to decide together what the way forward. And it's very important not to impose on the community, your ideas and what you think they require. Because obviously there is a community. If it's not your own community, you're going to another community. They know better what they require. So it's good to work with them and not to impose on them. It's very important to involve the community in whatever you are doing. So that also brings about a sense of community, the togetherness. And it's very important, when you're doing this kind of work and this kind of assisting or empowering, you just have to keep your intention very clear, and also to do it and to contribute and to do without expecting anything in return.
Yeah,
and sorry.
Right.
You have to recognize your.
All right. Sorry. Let me allow you to continue. Then I'll ask the next question.
Yeah. Okay. And then you have to recognize what your own impact can be on the community. So it's very important to have a positive mindset and the right intention also.
All right. Positive mindset and right intention. Now, how can we fulfill our civic duties in times like these with the current unrest that is going on in the country?
Yeah, that's a very good question because, at the time like this is when we can really help. So, for instance, if there are aged and elderly in our areas, to see, to can pay them a visit or give them a call, see if they need anything like basic essentials or medication or anything. So that's a very good way to get involved. And also, to offer to do shopping for maybe the sick people, or if there's any, ill people in our areas, to go and visit them to see if they need anything to make them comfortable. And, sometimes people don't need material, items. They just need somebody to be there. So also, if there are people that in our area that need to just pay them a visit, sit for a few minutes, just talk to them, put their minds at ease, and just offer whatever assistance you can.
Yes. And what can we do to hold those in government accountable for not fulfilling their social responsibility and civic duty? Because, I mean, with these current unrest, a lot needs to be done, and we're not seeing government fulfilling their end of the deal.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is what's happening at the moment. So I think if we just need to start with ourselves, in our homes, in our areas, in our communities, and just try and do whatever we can. Because as we've seen, what government is doing, and sometimes it makes you feel very helpless.
Yes.
So I think if we just put our minds to it and do whatever we can and try to make a difference in our communities, and hopefully that will, have a ripple effect. And if everybody can just take that responsibility to serve their own community and their, immediate, those that can really benefit from them, then inshallah we just make dua that, things can get better and, just trying to whatever we can, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we have seen people take the responsibility to protect their communities, which is why some communities don't really have a problem with the protests and the unrest. We've seen them come together to protect their shopping centers and their places of work, as we do know, and we have seen other business places have been looted, have been destroyed, have been vandalized, materials, equipment with millions of rands have been destroyed, damaged, and even stolen. So we have seen that communities have come out in numbers and taken the initiative and the responsibility to work together to protecting their own communities. So going forward, what are your final thoughts on the importance of social responsibility and fulfilling civic duty?
I think it's important for us as adults to realize that we do have a social responsibility, and we should try to do that without, expecting anything in return, because that's also what our Deen teaches us to do for people. To put ourselves out there and to do without any ulterior motives, to just, just do. If we are in a better position, whether it's financially or whichever way, to just do for others, wherever we can reach out to people. And what's very important also is to get our children involved in this. If you're visiting a sick person or an elderly person who needs help, take the children along. If they are of that age and they can understand. So they also realize that life is not only about taking. It's also about giving. So from a young age, if we make them aware of this, that they do have a responsibility to the society. They do have a responsibility to their neighbors, to old people, to elderly people, people who are disabled. So then, inshallah, that will also teach them not to be selfish. They will sometimes we have to put our needs aside to see to the needs of others.
All right. Shukran so much for your time, Sister Aziza, and hopefully we can benefit from the information that you've just shared with us.
Inshallah. Jazakallah so much.
Barakallah. Assalamu alaikum. Islamic Care Lines Counsellor Aziza Angamia taken us through the importance of social responsibility and fulfilling civic duty. And just some points of note here. You need to, when you want to help a community, when you want to fulfill your social responsibility, identify the needs of the community and work with the community as well. Don't go out there coming with your own ideas, what you think will benefit the community. Meanwhile, the community doesn't even need A, B, or C. For example, if a community does not require a shopping mall, why must you go there and say, okay, guys, we're going to build a shopping mall here for such and such a reason? No, if they only require a shopping center, a shopping complex, or a supermarket rather, then help them to fulfill those needs of getting a supermarket instead of a shopping mall. Also, this social responsibility and working with the community brings out togetherness, and it's the beautiful togetherness that we've just seen on the social media, which will not be shared. You will not find this on the news. You will find this on social media platforms like Facebook, maybe even TikTok or Instagram or other places where you can see that there are communities that are coming together, working together to bring about change and to protect their communities. That is a social responsibility that they have identified, and they have decided that they're going to do this in order to protect the community and avoid any lootings and any destruction to businesses and properties. So it brings out the togetherness, and you can see that this community is together. And we may have our differences on certain days, but we've decided to put that aside and come together to protect and serve. And also, we need to hold people in government accountable because they are not fulfilling their social responsibility towards us, the people of the country. And we've seen that a lot more needs to be done. They need to step up and do better than what they have done right now with the current situation. So if you have any further comments, you may leave them in the comment section. But for now, do stay with us. We will be right back.
From the townships of South Africa, the refugee camps in Syria, or orphanages in Yemen, the eyes of the needy speak volumes with just one glare.